What a lot of people don't realise about homelessness is that you become homeless in the head long before you become physically homeless. It's basically a mental illness because you give up. For me, it was alcohol. It was far more important than having a bed to sleep in. For a lot of others, it's drugs. You know, and for still others, it's gambling. But these are all forms of addiction.
Trauma in life, marriage breakup, alcoholism, gambling, all those sort of things can turn any of our lives just like that, and we can be in the same situation. What they get from society about there's no room for you. You know, we haven't got accommodation, go off, get lost, you know. Move away from my shop, you know. I don't want scum like you around.
I was adopted at birth. My adoptive parents owned nightclubs in Sydney. My adoptive father shot through when I was the age of 3. I was then sent to boarding school at the age of 4½. Had very little contact with either of my adoptive parents during my formative years. I was sexually abused when I was about between the ages of 9 and 11, which I basically never really ever got completely over. I was always trying to track down who my birth mother was, but from there I basically became an alcoholic. I was to continue drinking. I lived on and off the streets, but I've always been reasonably good with people, and I get along with people, and I basically like people. I like having fun, and selling the big issue basically is really that. It's just having fun.
I think the big issue acts in several ways. It acts as a stabiliser in people's lives in terms of giving them something to look forward to, but it also gives them the opportunity to develop skills in interacting with people in the community.
The big issue allows people to take back the ownership of their own life by running a small business for themselves. They learn budgeting skills, they learn purchasing skills, they learn punctuality.
We can't beg people's got to come up to us and offer that to us. Because if we beg like that, bludgeon, we get in a lot of strife and by the boss and things like that, you know. And I have learned a lot by other workers the tips how to sell the magazine.
I've been working for the Body Shop for 3 years. I know that it's been sponsoring The Big Issue for around 10 years or more. They come in, they buy it for $2 from us, they sell it on the street for $4. So they keep all the profits for themselves, obviously. What they usually do is buy a whole bunch in the morning and then try and sell them by the afternoon. We try and support them and give them tips on how to present themselves and things to say to people to sell more of their magazines.
They're sort of on like a roster as to where they can stay, and they all go and sell it, and yeah, and then that's how.
So it's all about helping them to get back into the workforce rather than just helping them get through the day-to-day things of life.
For most of the people who end up selling The Big Issue, other people have had control of their life, be it Centrelink or whomever. They've controlled their life, they've told them what they can and can't do, and they've always had this restriction.
Jason was my favourite vendor when he was still a vendor. He used to sell on Hay Street and buy his magazines from us and talk to us about his little girl and He just had so much love for her, and we saw him progress from, he was quite shy, but then he started to open up and just tell us all stories about his little girl, and he paid for her ballet lessons and did all these wonderful things with her from the money he was making from selling the Big Issue. Billy, he used to sell the Big Issue out the front of Hay Street as well, and he now works for the car park at Megamart, and he sells tickets to the car park at Megamart, and he's sort of in charge there. He's like a supervisor, so we've seen him go from getting his life back to working as his full-time job now, so he's back in the workforce. Adrian, who sells on the footbridge with his wife, have made, they on the footbridge every morning from 6 in the morning till 6 at night, so they do a really long day, and they're there Monday to Friday, and that's their livelihood.
Since she's joined the Big Issue, Denise has gained a tremendous amount in her own self-confidence. You can even ask people who regularly buy the magazine off Denise, and they can tell you that month by month they can see the changes.
I really, at the end of the day, I achieved something. And when you get up in the morning, if your feet touch the ground, you're still alive.
Definitely, I would never blame anyone for being homeless. I mean, a lot of the time you don't know the full story, but no, definitely not, because there's some situations that they just aren't in control of. And I think that if they're doing this, then they're giving it, they're trying, which is more than what some other non-homeless people do. So definitely, no, I think it's great, and they're all so polite and so really, really happy and really respectful, and like we love dealing with them. So yeah, definitely. Some will sell 50 in a day, so it's like $100 that they've just made. So it's amazing.
I mean, most days you get out of bed and you say, I wish I could have the day off. In reality, we could, but you don't, because you've got the responsibility to be there for the people who want to buy the magazine. Yes, it is financially rewarding, but the rewards from the Big Issue go far beyond the realms of mere money. It's the feeling that people gain from the Big Issue that really makes it such a success.
We've got a Big Issue choir which has just started over the last couple of months, and that's been very, very beneficial for guys to be able to just have some fun and sing and join in, and we're now starting to do public performances.
G'day everyone, I'm Bernard Carney, this is Eleanor Carney, and we've been singing with these glorious people for about the last 6 or 7 weeks, getting a little repertoire together for the Big Issue Spirit of the Streets Choir. That's what we're called, isn't it? Yeah. And that name was bestowed upon us by Adrian.
But since people have been involved with the choir, I've seen their level of involvement increasing in terms of wanting to contribute as far as words to songs, because it's a new way of them relating.